Easton Peaburg coming up. Just what does that duel mean to you as a senior, and what would winning it mean to you?
It means a lot. It's obviously a really important match every year. I mean, despite who they have in their lineup, or if they're struggling or not, or if we're struggling or not, it's always a pretty tight match, and we always get a good turnout, and everyone usually wrestles their best at that match. So it's really important, and it's kind of a win that we always look forward to getting every year.
Is there any concern about maybe being too hyped up or too emotional going into it, and maybe that hurting your focus at all?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially being away this year, wrestling in the pit. I mean, it's a small gym, but it really draws a lot of people, and it's a really closed, packed environment. So you really have to know how to control your emotions and really kind of keep your exposure so you can wrestle your best. You don't want to be antsy.
With all the success you guys have had this year, do you feel like there's any possibility that maybe you have to keep the guys from getting overconfident in approaching this meet, or is that not an issue?
I think that's one of those things as an athlete, and one of those things as a coach. You can't be overconfident, but yet you can't be underconfident. Confidence is what makes great athletes succeed. They have to keep everything in just the right mode.
What sort of challenge does wrestling at the pit in a hostile environment present for your guys?
Well, you'd like to think it's a motivating factor, and it works to the good. And 99% of our kids, with our schedule and the competition year in, year out, it works very much to that. Though, we've had the years where a Josh Oliver and a Jordan Oliver both lost the same night, but we still managed to win as a team. So you never know how they're going to react to that crowd. It's a fun environment.
We feel pretty confident. Last year, we didn't wrestle to our ability, so this year our game plan is wrestle it like any other match. Go out there, keep your head straight, keep your focus on, and just keep pushing the pace, keep pushing the intensity.
I mean, we've accomplished a lot since I've been wrestling here, but one thing we haven't done is beat Easton. I haven't gotten a win against Easton individually, so it would just top off my high school wrestling career if we could pull out a big win on Thursday night.
How much do you feel like being able to wrestle in the pit might be an advantage to you guys?
Well, if we wrestle with a lot of emotion like we did last Thursday against Warren Hills, we get the crowd behind us, and that it just gets on the other wrestlers. Once you have the student section chanting and the whole crowd cheering, it gets in the other wrestlers' head, and we're used to wrestling in the pit, and we're calm, and all these other guys get really hyped up and go out, and they just don't wrestle the match they want to.
Do you feel that's something that you guys need to be in control of, is in an emotional rivalry like this, still keeping it under control and staying focused on the task at hand?
Yeah, part of the problem the last 3 years was we really got hyped up for this match, and we wrestled very tentatively. We didn't want to make mistakes. We wrestled very conservatively, and we know if we go out and let it fly and do our moves and wrestle aggressive, we can beat almost any team we wrestle this year.
Well, just looking at Easton's lineup, obviously pretty quality wrestlers from top to bottom, but is there any point or matchup that particularly sticks out to you?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a couple really good bouts. Whenever you wrestle a team like Easton, you have to get some toss-up bouts, and that always comes down to the winner of those key toss-up bouts are the ones that win the match. We're looking at weights like 113, like 126, and 145 to be some bouts that we really have to be in and get a chance to get a couple of those toss-ups.
How much of an advantage do you think it is to be able to wrestle them at the pit?
Yeah, our kids always kind of rise. They raise their level of competitiveness when they wrestle at home. It's a little bit more inspiration. They got their teammates or their classmates out in the stands for them, cheering for them, and the environment. Our kids are used to it, and I think sometimes when opposing teams come in, it wears on them a little bit. So we're hoping that plays to our advantage, and our kids bring their A game.
What would a result against Easton do to springboard you guys towards the end of the season?
I think it's a great point. You wrestle a team like Easton, and it means so much to the school and to the student body and to the town. You get a win like that, and it really could, it could pay big dividends down in the postseason.